What's up guys, Alex here, and Apple just released their brand new iPhone 17 and 17 Pro lineup. And if you're watching this video, congratulations on your new phone, and you came to the right place because today I'm going to show you all the things that you need to do first on your brand new iPhone 17 and 17 Pro. We have a lot to cover, so let's not waste any time and get right into the video. Now, the very first thing you should always do on a brand new iPhone is go into your phone settings, select General, and go to Software Update and make sure that your phone is up to date, because depending on when you ordered your phone, it could have been sitting in a box for a long time since it was manufactured, and Apple might have released software updates since then. So you definitely want to go in here and make sure that you're on the latest iOS version. If you see that there's a software update available, definitely go ahead and update your phone to the latest version. Next, I'm going to show you a cool wallpaper trick that came with iOS 26 that will allow you to give this cool 3D parallax effect to your wallpaper. So what you want to do is long press on your home screen in order to edit the lock screen, then hit the plus icon right here, go to your photos and pick a photo from your gallery. Now, this is going to work best with photos that have a clear subject in the foreground and some depth to them. So I'm going to pick this one right here. And then over here, you'll see the Spacial button that when you tap on it, it's going to create this cool 3D parallax effect, and this is going to look really cool on your wallpaper. Now, while we're on the lock screen, another change we're going to make is to change our quick shortcuts. So right here we have the flashlight, and over here we have the camera, but we can already bring up the camera with the side camera button or by swiping on our lock screen. So this is a little bit redundant. So what we're going to do is just hit the minus to remove it, then hit the plus and add something else in here. And you can see there's a couple different options in here. A good one is the calculator, maybe your smart home devices if you have any smart devices from Apple. So just go through this and add whatever it is that you want. I'm just going to go ahead and add the calculator because I actually use that quite often. And now when we're done, we're just gonna hit save, set as wallpaper pair. And that's it. Now when we go to our lock screen, you can see we have this cool parallax effect. And if I ever need the flashlight, I can just long press on it. Or if I want to bring up the calculator, I can just press right there and it comes up directly on my lock screen. Now with iOS 26, we of course have a brand new look and feel for the iPhone. You can see that all the buttons, everything, our notifications, our control center has this see-through transparent kind of design that Apple is calling liquid glass. And if you want, you can bring the same transparent design to the icons on your phone, and all you need to do is just long press on your home screen, tap edit, go to customize and change it from default to clear, and now you're going to see that all of your icons, your widgets and everything on your home screen turns into this clear transparent design to match that liquid glass feel. And another cool thing you can do is actually match the tints of these icons to the iPhone color that you bought or the case that you have on your iPhone. So if we go back to customize, tap tinted, you'll see these two icons right here that if you tap on them, it will change the tint of your icons to the color of your phone or the case that you have on your phone. Now, you do need to use an Apple certified case because they have an RFID chip in there that will allow your phone to recognize what color case you have. And if you want, you can of course also play with this little color wheel here and just change the transparency and color to whatever it is that you want. Now I'm going to set it back to default because it is a little bit easier to see everything. Of course, this transparent design is cool, but again, it can be a little bit difficult to see things, especially if you have a busy wallpaper. So if you want to actually reduce the transparency so that it can be a little bit easier to see everything, you can go into your phone settings, go to accessibility, display and text, and right there you'll see a button for reduce transparency, so that now if I bring up that control center, you can see that the background is more blurred out and it's much easier to see everything. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is something I suggest absolutely everybody do, no matter if you have an iPhone, an Android, a Samsung phone, it doesn't matter, because this setting is one that will save you lots and lots of battery life. So what you want to do is go into your phone settings, go to display and brightness. And if you have your phone set to light mode, go ahead and change it to dark mode, because modern phones all have OLED displays. And that means any pixels that are completely black are actually off, and your display will not use any battery to power that part of the display. And this could, over the day, save you lots of battery life. Now, while we're in here, just swipe down until you see always on display, and you can see that by default, the always on display is off. So if we lock our phone, you can see we don't have the always on display. We can't see the time or any of our notifications. So if you want that always on display, just go ahead and toggle this to on, and now you can see when we go to the always on display, we can see our date, the clock, and any notifications that we have. And you can see in the background, we have our lock screen wallpaper that will blur and dim as we turn on the always on display, which I think looks really cool. But do keep in mind that having this on your always on display is going to eat a lot of battery life. And if you want to prolong the battery life as long as possible, what you can do is go back into those lock screen always on display settings and just remove the show wallpaper setting right there. And now when we go to that always on display, you can see it is just mostly a black screen, and this is going to save you much more battery life. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is go into our camera app, rotate it into selfie mode, and then hit on this yellow icon up here and make sure to enable auto zoom and auto rotate. And what this is going to do is use the new built-in selfie camera on the iPhone 17 to be able to toggle between landscape and portrait mode without actually flipping your phone. And if you're taking a selfie and more people are joining your picture, your phone will identify them and crop out and zoom out so that everybody can be in the shot. And while we're in here, go ahead and tap on the video tab, then tap video again, and you'll see a new option here for dual capture. So this is a new feature that they brought that will allow you to record with the rear camera at the same time as you're recording with the selfie camera. This can definitely be really cool if you're at a show or some kind of concert and you want to record what you're looking at and at the same time capture your own reaction. Now, one of the most annoying things that happens to me on my phone is when I'm reading a long article or maybe I'm looking at a photo of something, if I am not scrolling on my phone or tapping on it or interacting with it, the display will auto dim and lock on me in order to save battery life. And you have to keep tapping your display to keep it awake. But there's a cool setting you can change in order to fix that. So we're gonna go into our phone settings, scroll down to Face ID and passcode, and swipe down until you see attention aware features and enable this feature. And now your phone will use the front facing camera to see if you are looking at the phone, and if it detects that you are looking at the phone, it will no longer dim and lock on you. So definitely a really nice quality of life feature. Now, if you are smart, by now you should absolutely be using a password manager to manage all of your accounts and passwords. Now, Apple does have a password manager built in, but if you use a different one like me, for example, I use Bitwarden, but what you should do is go into your phone settings, go to General, and go to Autofill and Passwords. And in here, just enable whichever password managers you use. And if you use multiple, you can enable all of them. And once you enable it, now anytime you need to log into any of your accounts, your iPhone will have access to all of your password vaults in order to be able to autofill your credentials and log you into all of your accounts. Now, Apple Intelligence has definitely had a tough year, and Siri really hasn't gotten the attention or love that we were hoping for. And one thing that I suggest everybody do is enable ChatGPT on your iPhone. Yes, you can use ChatGPT on your iPhone, and it is far superior to Siri. So what you want to do is go into your phone settings, scroll down to Apple Intelligence and Siri, and right there you'll see ChatGPT. Tap on it and then just hit set up. And then go next and just follow the prompts to set this up. And that's it. Once you've done that, you can see ChatGPT is now enabled. Now, I know there's a sign in button right here, but you don't actually need to sign in unless you want to remember the history of all of your interactions with ChatGPT, and maybe you want to reference a conversation you had earlier. Then you'll definitely want to sign in, or maybe you have a ChatGPT Plus account. Definitely go ahead and sign in, but you don't need to. You can still use ChatGPT on your iPhone without signing in. And all you need to do is anytime you invoke Siri, just say ChatGPT first and then ask your question. So to show you what this looks like, I'm going to go ahead and invoke Siri. ChatGPT, what is the fastest animal in the world? And you can see it says working with ChatGPT because I did ask it to use ChatGPT. So instead of Siri, it's going to query ChatGPT to give me the answer. Now, when you were setting up your phone for the first time, during that initial setup wizard, it would have asked you to customize your action button. But if you kind of just glossed over that and didn't do anything, the default behavior of that action button is just to silence your ringtone. But if you want to add other cool actions to the action button or just see what else you can program it to, go to your phone settings and then scroll down to action button. And here you can swipe through and see all of the different actions that you can map to it. So we can set a focus mode, open up our camera, open up visual intelligence, the flashlight, a voice memo, recognize music with Shazam, translate something, or use it as a magnifier. So if any of these are more useful to you, definitely go ahead and set it up to something else. And I usually like this voice memo one because you can quickly take a voice recording directly from your lock screen if you need to remember something for later. This is definitely a really useful feature. All right, guys, the next setting is one that I constantly have to do with every new phone that I ever get, because for some reason these manufacturers never want to make this the default behavior, but it is to simply show the actual battery percentage of your phone up here so that you can know exactly how much battery you have. And it's really simple. Just go to your phone settings, tap battery, and if you swipe down a little bit, you'll see right there battery percentage, and now it'll show exactly how much battery we have left on our phone. But while we're in here, there is a new setting with iOS 26. If we go to power mode, there's an option here for adaptive power. Definitely go ahead and enable this, because what it's going to do is, you can see it says when your battery usage is higher than usual, iPhone can extend the battery life by making performance adjustments such as lowering the display brightness, allowing some activities to take longer, or turning on low power mode at 20%. So this is one of those features that you can just enable and let your phone do all the hard work of figuring out how to make your battery last as long as possible. You don't have to do anything yourself. Your phone will just pay attention to what you're doing with the phone, what time of day it is, how much battery is left, and it'll make all those adjustments for you to make your battery last as long as possible. This is definitely one of those set it and forget it kind of features. So definitely go ahead and set it and then forget it. And while we're on the topic of better battery life, another setting that I suggest you enable is, if you go back into your settings, go to General and swipe down until you see Background App Refresh. Go ahead and turn it off for any of these apps that you don't really care about, because all of these apps are on by default and they will just continue to refresh in the background, and this definitely is going to drain battery life. So if there's anything in here that you really don't care about, go ahead and just disable it, and now it's going to use less battery because these apps are not going to keep refreshing in the background. And instead, anytime you open them, they will just refresh once they're open and once you actually need them. And again, if you don't need them, just go ahead and disable this for better battery life. All right, guys, next what we're gonna do is improve the quality of the cameras on our phone, because by default, they are not set to the best or highest resolution, and we can definitely make some improvements. So let's go into settings, scroll down to camera, and under record video, you can see it's set to 1080p by default. So go ahead and set this to 4K, 24, 30, or 60 FPS. I suggest 24 or 30 unless you want to be slowing down footage. Then you can do 30, but this is going to eat a little bit more storage on your phone. So definitely go ahead and set it to at least 4K 30, and now you're gonna get a much higher resolution and better looking video out of your iPhone. Now, one thing that iPhone just isn't very good at and has kind of been struggling with for years is notification management. It can definitely get really overwhelming and annoying just the way notifications are managed. So one thing I suggest everybody do is kind of just minimize the notifications that you get and make your life a little bit easier. And to do this, we're gonna go to settings, swipe down to notifications, and swipe down to the bottom, and what you're gonna see here is all of the applications that you have installed on your phone. Now, this is a new phone, so I don't have too much here, but if you have a lot of applications installed on your phone, you're gonna see a whole list of them here, and what you wanna do is just tap into them. If you don't care about the notifications that they send, definitely go ahead and disable this, and it's just going to make your life much easier because you're not gonna be constantly bombarded about things that you don't care about. Now, phones these days have gotten really big. Even the smaller phones are like 6.3 inches, which isn't really small, and the larger ones go up to 6.9 inches. And using them one-handed can be very difficult. You can see my thumb barely even gets halfway to the other side of the phone. And if I need to reach anything over here, it's just gonna be impossible. I'm gonna have to use my phone two-handed. But there's a trick on here that you should already know that will allow you to use your hand a little bit easier one-handed by just swiping down from the middle. And now you can see everything is a little bit more reachable and easier to manage. Now, if this isn't working for you on your phone, you might need to enable it. So just go into your phone settings, scroll down to accessibility, go to touch, and right here at the top it says reachability. Just make sure that this setting is enabled, and now you'll be able to swipe down from the bottom and bring your whole entire screen down, making it easier to interact with your phone one-handed. Now, this next setting is a personal preference, and this is something that I really like and I think you might enjoy it too, but it is the ability to have a haptic feedback anytime you're typing on your keyboard. So if you're writing an email or you're messaging your friends, anytime you hit on a key on your keyboard, it'll give you a nice little vibration, which I absolutely love. I just like how it feels. I think it's really cool. And if you want that as well, what you want to do is go into your phone settings, swipe down to sound and haptics, look for keyboard and feedback or right there. And you'll see by default sound is on, but haptic is disabled. And I actually like to switch these. I don't like the sound. I think it's annoying. It's constantly clicking, but I do like the haptic. So I'll just turn off sound and enable haptic. You can leave both of these on, but just keep in mind that it will use more battery because anytime your phone needs to make a sound or use the vibration motor, it is of course using battery to do that. So just, do this at your own will. Go ahead and set this up to your own personal preference. All right, guys, next what we're gonna do is enable Backtap on our iPhone, which will allow us to tap the back of the phone in order to take an action. It's like a secret button. Most people should already know about this, but if you don't, definitely go ahead and enable it. What you want to do is go to settings, look for accessibility, go to touch, and all the way down at the bottom, you'll see Backtap. And we have a double tap and a triple tap. And if we tap into here, you can see we have a whole bunch of different actions that we can take anytime we tap on the back of our phone. So just go through here and set this up to what you want. So let's say maybe you want to open up the camera anytime you double tap. And then when you triple tap, maybe you want the flashlights. And now to show you what this looks like, if I double tap the back of my phone, it'll open up my camera. And of course, the triple tap will turn on the flashlight. And you can triple tap again to turn it off. Definitely really cool. But there you go, guys. That's going to do it for this video of all the first things that you need to do on your brand new iPhone. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any other cool tips that you think other people might enjoy, definitely go ahead and comment them in the description below. But that's going to do it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.